happy. Hiya, hiya, lily pals. Holy fuck. I put in, a little... I put in some little bits of extra work into this one. A happy, frothy, milk and chocolatey. Whatever you say. Y'all might not realize or remember, but if you've noticed the stream title, technically, very technically, this is a follow-up stream. For you see, remember the 4th of November for the gunpowder treason and plot? Not there quite yet. Got 3 months to go. A bit under, but we're getting there, we're chugging along. I never realize or remember. Well, the point is, this is actually not my first go at streaming some Hunger Games simulator. I actually did a couple of them way back when. How far back when? Let me tell you. Oh my god, was it you who I remember playing this before? It was! Well, how far back when? I checked back through my VODs. It was during the Gwyn era. All the way back in 2023. So, at a minimum, 2.5 years ago, I had this particular roster figured out, ready to go, bookmarked in my browser for just about 3 years. I had it all figured out. It was the basics were all set up. It was just about ready to go. And then I just never did it. One of those times where, once again, ADHD truly kicking my ass. I remember a battle royale of epic proportions. Good guys, bad guys, and explosions. This is the ultimate showdown. Ultimate destiny. Can't wait for the trilogy. And then life. And then life. And then... brain. So ultimately what I've had to do for 2.5 or 3 years, because the way this website works, the website I use for this game, I have to constantly visit the particular page, like, at least a minimum of once a month. Because otherwise the website will clear it out. It'll erase it, and I'll have to start over. So, for the past roughly 3 years, as I've been doing my internet browsing every so often, I just kind of randomly, like, hey, let's open up this Hunger Games tab, make sure it doesn't go anywhere, and just do that. And I've been doing that on repeat for years. Well, I've decided Since today I'm taking a break from our Pokemon Fusion Nuzlocke, why not fill the gap in with some different blood sports? Hi, Frank! You're just in time. Why do you constantly have to visit the page? Can't you talk to the Duchess? But well, 3 years every month. Yeah. But tonight it ends. Tonight I finally put a use to it. What were you talking about? I was prefacing this stream on how it's technically a follow-up to a couple of similar streams I did roughly 3 years ago. This was always intended to be a follow-up, and my ADHD hit me hard. So about 3 years later, here we are. We're finally going to indulge. And for the occasion, I actually decided to put a little smidgen of more work into it. Just kind of do a little tappy tap, a little nudge up on the production value, just a smidge. Just a teensy tiny bit for the occasion. Because, you know, this was such a long anticipated stream. But anyhow. Yeah, at least to start out, we're gonna have a little fun with it. So, here we are. I'm gonna quickly, summon the stream forks. Let's see, what do I wanna do with y'all? We're here to observe some games, so we're gonna do, once again, the typical, like, audience spectator setup. Just pretend you're all seated on some bleachers wrapped around this isolated area of deadly wilderness. Da, 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 da. Okay. Talking about the history of battle royales, their sources and origins. Streamforks is a good Halloween or April Fool's prank. That would be good. Everyone is here. Well, not quite everyone. There are at least a few more special Streamforks that may or may not pop up. Not quite no Zurich. Zurich. Okay. So I got a special little thing of going right here. So I'm gonna have to spend a moment to briefly ignore the chat to get this all underway. There's possibility for a smidge of scuff. But, you know, what else is a good stream without a little bit of scuff? Okay. Here we go. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and all genders beyond, to this long-awaited season of the Hunger Games. I am your hostess, Issy, reading from a pre-written script to incite the only correct tone one can have when introducing survival game contestants. Let's get acquainted with our 12 districts and 24 tributes, where only one can prevail as champion. The first district provides us a much-needed reminder of where we left off many, 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 many streams ago. On this very channel, we held witness to the two respective victors, that was a typo, of the Gensokyo games represented by our very own Toho district. Wave those flashy spell cards for Mystia Lorelei and My Tereda. As a brief admission, folks, I'm still a little salty that Mai had pulled through all that time ago. Alas, hostesses can't be choosers. She'll be among the dead in all likelihood. Alright. Getting on with our remaining parcels of participants, our second tributes hail from the Disney Duo District. With a filmography as extensive as Disney's, it was hell for our committee to settle on the perfect team. In the end, we went gung-ho on a couple of underdogs crawling their way up from their unprecedented cult status. A couple of unsung heroes made from hysterical villains. We have Yzma and Krunk from The Emperor's New Groove. Their tribute even includes a surprise bonus of their own refreshing potions provided by our vendors. Buy yours now. Next up, we have the Blue Boys District as our number 3. No, not those Blue Boys, folks. My condolences notwithstanding, please keep your belt buckles fastened at all times. Brought in from once beloved children's media, citation needed, these color-coded contestants keep firm in their gender roles for outdated educational purposes only. Presenting this comedy king and his uncanny colleague, Carlos Ramon from the Magic School Bus and JJ the Jet Plane. A reminder that attempts of premature aerial departure of the games is impossible and punishable by lethal defenestration. Alright. Hang on. Just a teensy little bit of scuff as I am trying to get the right scroll. Okay. Conjuring forth our 4th tributes. Were it not for the Toho girls, they might just be contenders for my personal faves. Here we have called upon the Witch District, a whole coven of enchanting figures, both practicing and not. A shame that I lack the ability to sponsor anyone myself, as I could have found myself utterly spellbound with their immaculate vibes. Wave those wands and let us merry meet. The Hex Girls from Scooby-Doo and Witch Hazel from Looney Tunes fame. Indeed, the committee is allowing groups of up to 3 to qualify as single tributes these days. Don't go switching the channel now, folks. Our next district is truly AAA quality for better or worse. We have the Angry Aided Animals District. Hailing from a loose enclosure of only the deadliest beasts, you would be forgiven for thinking they don't count as contestants. But there's one crucial difference, of course. These two creatures are provided man-made tools or substances for even greater capacity for causing bloodshed and danger. Put out those paws for these furious fuzzballs. The 6-Gun Gorilla and Cocaine Bear. Please do not feed the animals. It's not called the Hunger Games for nothing. Coming up to the halfway point, we have scouted 2 absolute stars from the Dreamy Dancers District. Their groove, their style and grace can pierce the heavens into outer space. Literally. No matter their lack of team cohesion, they take the stage to dance through the danger and into our hearts. Let us applaud the dazzling and the dreadful. Whoops, I accidentally opened up Krita, I guess. But anyway. Shantae, the half-genie hero. and the Boogeyman from Powerpuff Girls. Those who are unable to remain seated amidst the beat of their absolute bops will have their live seating revoked and be escorted out. Moving on to the next row. There we go. From primal instinct in one corner to mechanical precision on the other, we meet our contestants from the Robotics Division District. While not so remarkable in this day and age, these spunky gizmos still have some battery life to spend. The committee saw these tributes for the pure sake of nostalgic millennial appreciation. Upload your digital cheers for Robot Jones and Poochie the Robopet. This season of the Hunger Games is brought to you in part by Tiger Electronics. The committee requires that I clarify for legal reasons that this is a joke. District 8's contestants are rather unorthodox as per controversial modifications to the rules. Hailing from the lovable Trios district, these tributes were selected not as single bodies, but 3 times as much. With comedic banter and tricks, these duo teams come to shake up the long-held traditions of previous Hunger Games. Give thrice your enthusiasm for Team Rocket and the Animaniacs. Let the record state that failure in these games will also mean 3 times as much punishment for this district. Fun fact, the Hex Girls of District 4 were provided the chance to serve here to this district, but the offer was politely declined so as not to steal someone else's spotlight. Enchanting and considerate. You go, girls. Not to be confused with the film of the same name, District 9 is comprised of the supposed Talkers District, another sector occupied by animals, but rumor has it that these animals are inexplicably capable of speech. The committee insofar refutes this as the result of dreams, hallucinations, or semi-diegetic narration to help audiences understand the plot of a film. Nevertheless, such claims have given them well and enough room in the spotlight for our entertainment purposes today. Make some hoots and hollers for Kangaroo Jack and Sassy from Homeward Bound. If you ask me, it's hard to say if that kangaroo even exists in the first place, but the show must go on. Alright, our final row for this evening. Final bout of tributes. We've come from triple A's and have reached the triple B's, the Bad Bitch Bully District. These young ladies concern themselves only with privilege and popularity, with no qualms for who they gotta step on to get what they want. As fierce as they are fashionable, will their social cunning and class prestige win out against brutal survivalism? Hand over some snaps and claps for Heather Chandler of Heather's fame and Missy Meany from Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. Wait, why isn't, Oh, I see. I've been informed that these two tributes had a bit of a heated disagreement before the game, resulting in Missy's profile photo being stolen, shredded, and burned. Regardless, we can confirm that she is still present in the game. She's making herself rather hard to miss. Our second-to-last district is a rather unique flavor from none other than the Super Grappler District. These two contestants hail from a community of ardent wrestlers of many diverse techniques, but chiefly grappling. By nature or nurture, these fighters learned how to grab life by the horns and throw it face down in the dirt. Flexing their way to the Hunger Games championship, we have the Flea of Mucha Lucha and Sarabella from Skullgirls. Anyone surviving a fight with the Flea had better pray for a deodorant sponsor. And for our final district, we have scarce little to promote, as we have taken tributes from the Wild Card District. Loved by many, loathed by some, this district randomly pulls its participants from everywhere, anywhere, here, there, someplace throughout the conceivable multiverse. With such a premise, the audience is always held in suspense for who might appear behind these curtains. But at last, revealing this mystery, capping off our roster for this evening, give a hand for the Minecraft Bee and your mom. Yes, your mom. Yours. You. Points at you. Your mom. The mom that is yours. Happy? Sad? Confused? That's the wild cards, baby! And with that, I can finally take these down as we do our own little thing. With all our districts and tributes revealed, let us do a final summarized flyover. Too far. From the Toho District, we have Misty Lorelei and Mai Tereda. From the Disney Duos District, Yzma and Krunk. From the Blue Boys District, Carlos Ramon and JJ the Jet Plane. Too far! Someone get the camera guy to focus. Okay. From the Witch District, the Hex Girls and Witch Hazel. From the Angry Aided Animals District, Six Gun Gorilla and Cocaine Bear. From the Dreamy Dancers District, we have Shantae and the Boogeyman. From the Robotics Division District, Robot Jones and Poochie. From the Lovable Trios District, Team Rocket and the Animaniacs. From the Supposed Talkers District, we have Kangaroo Jack and Sassy. From the Bad Bitch Bully District, we have Heather Chandler and Missy Meanie. From the Super Grappler District, we have the Flea and Sarabella. And lastly, finally, from our Wildcard District, the Minecraft Bee and your mom. Our tributes are at the ready. With all that out of the way, let's start these games and end this script. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, let me catch up with chat first. Okay. Two-hoos! Drumming up some excitement. Yes, Kronk! Woo! We love you, Kronk! Alright. Oh, I just thought about it. Izzy, is there a way for us to bet on this? I don't know if I can provide enough betting options, sadly. Especially because, technically, this isn't a team game. Once everybody's out in the field, it's a free-for-all, don't you know? We can bet on first deaths. Maybe just betting on how many people will die per round. Whoa, that's a pearl. That's a pearl. Mother of pearl! We love you, Hex Girls! Woo! Hex Girls hard! Hex us hard! Is it Codman? AAA. So much Froggy this month. Hi, Binky! I don't know Six Gun either. What's he from? He is a public domain comic book character. Cocaine! My money's on the gorilla. Shantae, let's go! Shantae, lots of genie power! It's Frobo Robo. Is it Mo, Curly, and Joe? Oh, that's right. But aren't Team Rocket, like, title screen? Scooby and Roger Rabbit. Kangaroo got them boxing training. What an impressive selection. Thank you, thank you. If these are the triple Bs, will there be big mama doms with triple Ds? Missy is just Issy in an M disguise. Hey, I love you. Will the final people be more curtains? Wait, whose mom? Yours. Specifically. Mine, RNG, Stellar's, yours? Yes. So it's actually our mom. It's the platonic form that is your mom. Oh yeah, I'll say this again. Could we bet for this? This time I don't think I can feasibly make it happen. But anyway, that is our roster for tonight. I'm not sure how long this stream is actually going to go for, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's all going to die, who's all going to live, who's going to reach the championship, and how long it's going to take. And no promises I will be able to keep the same energy as the hurried script I made before stream. Our mom, comrades. Also, my bubble's on the flea, making it to round 3. And possibly beyond. Fictional Russian anthem. Okay. Lily Pals. Are we ready to finally kick off this much-awaited follow-up to the Hunger Games? I know I'm ready. You know what, the next time we do a Discord game, putting ourselves in Hunger Games is an option. That's a good idea. Hang on, I'm gonna write that down someplace. Okay. Let's see, I need an appropriate track to loop over the course of the game's events. And I think I have just the track. Just one moment. And play. Let us proceed. I might have to... Okay. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds! The flea runs away from the cornucopia. So if you're unfamiliar with the Hunger Games, real quick, everybody starts out in a big circle around, like, a whole wad of, like, weapons and tools that either they can choose to run for and, you know, risk getting killed immediately, or they can book it into the woods to, you know, live, but ultimately resourceless. Unless, you know, a wealthy sponsor decides to partake in some generosity. Frank, you did it! You stole my idea and got a better reaction from it! I think it was everyone's idea. Yeah, within the Discord. Oh, yeah. We just kind of mentioned, like, if everybody in the server was in a battle royale, who would win? Who would die? But anywho. Starting out the games, the horn sounds, the flea runs away into the woods. Robot Jones finds a bow, some arrows, and a quiver. Very resourceful. Kronk runs away from the cornucopia, oddly intelligent of him. The Animaniacs run away from the cornucopia, likely to set up some oncoming chaos for anyone approaching. Cerebello runs away from the cornucopia. Let's, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit for the sake of ease. Witch Hazel and Mistia fight for a bag. Mistia ultimately gives up and retreats. The Minecraft bee and my fight for a bag with my giving up and retreating. That's both of our Toho contestants making a break for it. Cocaine Bear finds a backpack full of camping equipment. I'm sorry, but we do not presently have any cocaine within our cornucopia. You're gonna have to be provided that via a sponsor. Yzma runs away from the cornucopia, hardly surprising. Sassy and your mom fight over a bag, with Sassy giving up and retreating. I'm not particularly worried over this cat. She survived falling off a waterfall with nary a scratch. JJ snatches a pair of sais. How is he holding on to them? Are they just on the tips of his wings and he's just gonna swoosh? Shantae runs away. Team Rocket runs away. Kind of surprising. You would think they would be kind of the cocky sort. Heather Chandler runs away from the cornucopia. Carlos runs away from the cornucopia. We're having a lot of runners this time around. Boogeyman clutches a first aid kit and makes a break for it. Poochie runs away. Six Gun Gorilla runs away, surprisingly. You would think he would try to recover his 6 guns. The Hex Girls style it away from the cornucopia. Kangaroo Jack hops into the wilderness. And Missy runs away. Got a whole bunch of runners. We have no deaths from the cornucopia, shockingly. Not betting on your own mom, wow. Even if we can't bet, I'm betting on Kronk. It's not a circle, it's a dodecahedron. Same diffs. Page is really zoomed in, yeah. Somebody will. That's so Bear. First weapon is his teeth. And glitch noises, Izzy. Okay. Here we have reached day 1. Mystia sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. Methinks perhaps a whacked-out bear is setting up camp somewhere. Carlos is overhearing the Hex Girl and Sassy talking in the distance. Are we perhaps beholding a potential alliance on the rise? Missy discovers a river. Very helpful. Have to keep your fluids up. Oh my! Team Rocket receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Really going for that name branding, I see. Robot Jones sees Shantae on approach and makes a break for it. He's of relatively small stature, I think despite his clanky joints, I think you could make a feasible getaway. Kangaroo Jack is on the hunt for some chicken blood. 6 Gun Gorilla manages to injure himself. Perhaps he was not looking before leaping. The Animaniac surprisingly decides to sleep through the entire day. The Flea, Yzma, and Mai decide to team up and hunt down other tributes they encounter. Heather, Boogeyman, Poochie, and Minecraft Bee raid your mom's camp while she is out hunting. She is now perhaps left with scarce nothing. Of course, Team Rocket got an explosive. Smoke rising from blazing at 420. M-Izzy, the M stands for mother! My second bet is Shantae. Hopefully doesn't get killed immediately. We can all pray and hope. Getting a pretty clear idea of some of the fan favorites this season. Second choice B. Not our mom! Sarabella overhears Kronk and JJ talking in the distance, having a little manly chat about manly things. From a man to a young boy, a young jet plane. Witch Hazel discovers a cave absolutely perfect for witchy branding. I would expect nothing less from a legend such as herself. Cocaine Bear gets some archery practice in. Methinks perhaps the drums are wearing off in their effectiveness. Oddly lucid early on. Nobody has died so far. 0 cannon shots have fired in the distance. We will have to proceed into the night. Aha! Mai receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. You could easily interpret that as a Gensokyo brand spell card. It's less of a traditional explosive, but there's certainly a lot of debris. Guaranteed. When I was a young boy. I don't know, caves are more bear territory. Cocaine Bear hasn't had cocaine yet. Who could that sponsor be? Team Rocket, your mom, Krunk, and Yzma sleep together in shifts. An odd alliance. Everybody seems to be going for a fusion-fission approach in terms of their alliances. Mystius sees a fire but remains hidden. Quite a challenge for a noisy night sparrow such as herself. Very want to make some noise, but it is the nighttime, so perhaps she truly is in her element. Speaking of singing, we have none other than Sarabella trying to sing herself a lullaby. Sassy attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Probably a bit too concerned with the preening and quality of her luscious fluffy fur. Six Gun Gorilla attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. If only he had a little smidge of gunpowder. Missy tries to sing herself to sleep, certainly drawing attention to herself, as is her wont. Heather attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. She usually has somebody underneath her doing it for her. Carlos and Shantae meet up and sleep in shifts. Everybody is seemingly, kind of easing into this sort of taking it easy for the first day-night bout. It's quite unexpected. Minecraft Bee, Poochie, and Cocaine Bear. A few of our animals, both organic and not, seem to unite and have a moment of camaraderie amongst each other. Or perhaps, you know, just a moment of sharing anticipations for what threats may arise in the morning. Robot Jones, despite his robotic nature, does not appear to exhibit any capacity for night vision. Very unfortunate. Don't tell him he has a giant light bulb in his head. Boogeyman goes peacefully to sleep. Of course, Boogeyman is absolutely in his element. It's unknown how exactly he is remaining resistant to the sunlight in the day shifts, but, you know, being the Hunger Games, we only work within certain parameters to allow these games to be sensibly sensible and fair. The flea screams for help! Absolute panic. Nobody within grappling distance. Kangaroo Jack, Witch Hazel, JJ, and the Hex Girls all tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. We have both contestants from the Witch District. I'm sure this is absolutely a hidden talent of theirs. They're in their absolute prime. Shockingly, in the night, the Animaniacs die from hunger. Rather, unfortunately, anticlimactic, folks. Kronk and Yzma! There we go. I'm predicting Yzma might betray Kronk at any point, or she gets killed in some absurd way. No blood just yet. Not uncommon for everybody to be chummy in the beginning. I'm reading it as MCB, like McDonald's. Yeah. Artificial day? No, my first pigs! Animaniacs dying from hunger would be a bit they do. Too sleepy to acknowledge the rumblies in their tumblies. It is the Hunger Games, you're right. The funniest thing for them is to die anticlimactically. It's for the bit! That is dedication, folks. Truly a lovable trio to the end. We reach day 2 as the sun rises on the horizon. Missy diverts the boogeyman's attention and runs away. Perhaps with some gaudy clothing and fashion articles. I mean, look at Boogie. He's pretty much into some degree of fashion himself. He loves making himself presentable. The Hex Girls, Sarabella, Shantae, and JJ raid Six Gun Gorilla's camp while he is out fetching some quarry. Perhaps some medicine for his injury? Perhaps still yearning for his 6 guns. We may never know now. Kangaroo Jack practices his own archery. Some of the fauna on the premises are looking quite keen within their provided armories. You'd really have to speculate who's really the most bloodthirsty here. Mai sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. The flea collects fruit from a tree, as many an insect are wont to do to gain nourishment from the local plant life. Six Gun Gorilla is not having a good time so far. B1 Battle Droid. Hello there, Princess. Can assure you I am not a bot twust. Alright then. They didn't even eat each other. Also, if they died of hunger, does that mean they haven't eaten for 6 days before day 1? It's all for the bit. Anything for the bit. Already dealing with challenges from every direction. Robot Jones searches for a water source. I can only imagine he is only wanting to do it, to set up his own trap. Couldn't possibly be for himself. Team Rocket questions their sanity. Were they ever straight-laced in the first place? What else could have made them such a lovable trio? Sassy hunts for other tributes. Watch out, crew. Contestants. You may not realize, but house cats are known to be perhaps, too good at predation. A reminder for those in the audience who are fellow cat owners to please keep your cat indoors and feed them only store-provided nourishment. Thank you. Your backyard friends appreciate you for doing so. Your mom makes a wooden spear. Oh my. Starting to get a bit crafty. Poochie also searches for a water source. Perhaps picking up on some latent signals from their fellow district mate. Minecraft B bleeds out due to untreated injuries that we are not privy to. Oh me, oh my. Nothing left but a bottle of honey. Bot or not, you're not being welcomed like that. Well, he didn't even say Roger Roger. What kind of battle droid does that? True. Crunk, Yzma, Witch Hazel, Cocaine Bear, and Heather hunt for other tributes. What a dangerous concoction of an alliance we have on the premises. Again, very kind of wishy-washy fusion fission going on between friends and alliances. Mystia also collects fruit from a tree. Easy enough being able to fly up with ease into the canopy. Carlos travels to higher ground. Well, my bets are out. Sad. Try again next season. We reach the afternoon. We reach midday. 2 cannon shots can be heard for the distance. We are pouring one out for the Animaniacs of District 8 and the Minecraft Bee of District 12. The Lovable Trios District and the Wildcard District, respectively. For those curious, your hostess finally has some access to her most favoritist beverage. Some delicious French vanilla creamed coffee. I have to be careful though, the creamer bottle was acquired this weekend and it's already more than half empty. I'm gonna have to slow down. As the sun sets, we head off into the night. Shantae and Heather Chandler run into each other, but decide to make a truce for the night. How did Bee die? Yeah, bled out from, yet unknown injuries, left untreated. Must have stung someone? Oh, perhaps. First two deaths are both mine. I'm sorry, RNG, your dice rolls were ever not in your favor this season. They act like 2 bad bitches can't coexist. Let's see. 6-Gun Gorilla goes soundly to sleep despite the loss of resources. A real trooper, this ape. The boogeyman starts a fire. Careful now. The sun may be dangerous to monster folk like the boogeyman, but fire can nevertheless be dangerous in its own right. Or perhaps that's the point. Perhaps it's not for him. We'll have to tune in and wait and see. Sarabella screams for help, drawing attention to herself in the darkness. Mai single-handedly fends off Sassy, Kronk, and Mystia away from her fire. I don't think there's much of a chance of teamwork between our members in the Toho district at this point. Mai is all in it for herself. Sad. So sad. JJ climbs a tree to rest, or rather, flies up and perches on a branch. I wonder how much gas he has in his engines. Gas. Ambiguous fuel. Perhaps it's friendship. Children's media and whatnot. Yzma cooks her food before putting her fire out. Our wise Emperor's advisor putting her wisdom to good use. Your mom, Robot Jones, Cocaine Bear, Missy, and Kangaroo Jack team up together and sleep in shifts. Witch Hazel cooks her food before putting her fire out. No doubt concocting some nefarious potion. They remember what happened in the Toho Cup. I knew I'd roll a 1 or a 20. Kind of invested in SG Gorilla's journey at this point. It is rather fascinating. Seems to be somewhat the underdog of this season. Hex Girls, Team Rocket, and Carlos discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Carlos, of course, being one to pull out his glorious, if perhaps infamous for some, but nevertheless, glorious puns that I have come to appreciate from none other than our own Stellar Empress. Kissies, wifey! Mwah, mwah. Suddenly, the Jumbotron camera focuses on Stellar. Poochie begs the flea to kill him, but the flea is not about that murder life and decides to let Poochie survive. The flea has a sense of honor as a super grappler. Nevertheless, Poochie is probably gonna require a bit of a what's the word? Fluorescent, flowery spray down. Close enough. On to day 3. Mystia questions her sanity. Is her own bird brain perhaps becoming her own worst enemy? The weapon turns against her. More like Under Gorilla. Hi, wifey. Spotlight. Poochie needs batteries. But, you know, it's the fleas, so probably stanky. Everybody should question their sanity at some point. It comes with the moida. Missy collects fruit from a tree. Clearly she doesn't have some second-rate bullies in high school, middle school, to be able to use to her advantage. It's all about her, baby. She has to be the bad bitch for herself. Krog picks flowers. Fair enough. Witch Hazel tries to sleep through the entire day. Perhaps what she was cooking up last night was, a spot of NyQuil. JJ injures himself. We got a broken wing, folks. How well is JJ gonna fare in the air now? Boogeyman, Sassy, and Mai team up together to hunt for other tributes. We're getting a lot of mobs this time around. Sarabella tries to sleep through the entire day. All that screaming through the night has left her absolutely exhausted. But thankfully she has the enormous muscular grappling arms to serve as cozy pillows. Shantae practicing some archery, surprisingly. Kind of investing some time into some ranged combat. We all know that her greatest weapon is her hair, but you know, it's better to exercise as many skills as you can while you have the time. Heather Chandler takes out her makeup kit and camouflages herself in the bushes. Very cunning. I wonder what she has cooking in that hungry little brain of hers. Team Rocket receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor, and they could not be happier. Look at them, folks. They are absolutely... That is the picture of glee. Six Gun Gorilla receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. That underdog status really doing him a solid now. Able to give himself some good and trusty gauze and bandages. Poochie goes fishing. I do believe Poochie is actually using their very own knobby little robo-pet tail as a fishing lure. Surprising. Cocaine Bear dies from thirst. All those drugs leaving him an absolutely withered raisin. Carlos received an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Many of our contestants being provided the means for absolute bombastic warfare, and I, for one, folks, am all for it. The flea sprains his ankle while running away from your mom. Oh my. This may be tricky for a CQC-type fighter such as the flea. This does raise a question. Does the flea's own carefully curated odor make him more easily detectable among the wilderness? You would have to think so, but... It all depends on the direction and strength of these winds, I suppose. Robot Jones goes hunting. Maybe perhaps for an open pool of oil. Yzma tries to spear fish with a trident. Let it be known that age is no factor in being a badass, folks. Kangaroo Jack searches for some firewood. Very interesting how many people are either trying to rely on fire for purely either utility or weaponry. But, like, these wires are hardly ever crossing, it seems like. We're not seeing a whole lot of bloody action so far. The Hex Girls die from an infection! Absolute tragedy. Ugh. The world has absolutely felt a sudden void, an absolute sinkhole open in its depths. Farewell, you absolute legends. Croc picking flowers also on brand. NyQuil sandwich. JJ might not live to see another day. Everybody does archery! Plus 19 HP. Do electric dogs catch electric fish? Cocaine Bear dies from thirst. Thirst of cocaine! There wasn't enough. She wanted to bathe him. It's likely everybody's still playing it safe and dying from circumstance. RIP. It's been all self-destructs. When are we truly going to see some distrust and conflict amidst the games, folks? It's inevitable, we would presume. Perhaps we picked out too many good-natured folks in this roster. We may have to take this into account for the next season in the next 3 years or so. As midday rises, 2 more cannon shots are heard in the distance. We have lost Cocaine Bear from the Angry Aided Animals District, and our very Hex Girls from the Witch District. But we must continue on. The games must continue. The show is all that matters in the end. Are you not entertained, my lily pals? The night arrives. Missy thinks about winning. Very, very expected. Kangaroo Jack sets up camp for the night. Absolutely styling the hoodie. You know, funny enough, I hear rumors that hidden within the hoodie's jackets are none other than a supply of cocaine. Coincidence? Probably. The flea is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Unfortunate. Heather Chandler tries to treat an infection. Probably pricked herself from hiding in the bushes. There's only so much that you can use makeup for, health-wise. Carlos loses sight of where he is. You could say he has become car lost. Man, I could do his job if he dies. Robot Jones climbs up a tree to rest his robotic body, to go into sleep mode. JJ defeats Six Gun Gorilla in a fight, but ultimately decides to spare his life. We must remark that Six Gun Gorilla has managed to treat his wounds. Meanwhile, even though JJ wields his own weapons, his wing still remains injured. So perhaps this was only a strategic retreat. You can never be too sure, folks. Yzma throws a knife into Mystia's chest, puncturing her hitbox. Mystia, girly pop, you must have known better than that. Where do you think you hail from? Ah. And so, in place of one cannon shot, I would personally request a single Pichoon in the distance. As the hostess, okay. I have been informed as the hostess I only have so much power. I am here to report the events, not to dictate them. Anywho, Shantae sees a fire, but stays hidden. Your mom has defeated Mai in a fight, but ultimately spares her life. You have to be careful, Mother. Your matronly instincts may just turn its back on you. Kronk receives clean water from an unknown sponsor because he's such a good boy. Maybe we picked the least litigious cast. I thought this was Hunger Games, not Survivor. It's both. Since Animaniacs died from hunger. How did autocorrect write Bungie? These Hunger Games brought to you by Bungie Studio. No. No, God, no. Missy? Nyuk, nyuk, nyuk. Yzma, as expected. We don't want both Tohus dying. Is your mom Toriel? Go, Krug! That was me! Ah. Team Rocket have banded together to sleep in shifts. The boogeyman, quite unorthodox to his nature, goes to sleep during the nighttime. Perhaps he's boogied himself to exhaustion for the time being. Sassy allows Witch Hazel into her shelter. I would be curious if there is perhaps talks of a potential alliance for the sake of Sassy becoming Hazel's temporary witch familiar. There's potential here, folks. Sarabella receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Could this possibly be Tiger Electronics? Can we confirm that? We cannot confirm that. Moving on. Witch Hazel questions her sanity. Nothing out of the ordinary for a classic Looney Tunes character. Crunk receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Crunk suddenly getting an outpouring of care and love and affection from our crowd. From our particularly affluent viewers. The Flea and Missy surprisingly band together to hunt other tributes. One has to wonder if Missy has perhaps lost her sense of smell. Clearly, she has to begrudge the difference in fashion choice. JJ and Shantae work together for the day. Not so much working for other tributes, but perhaps building some reinforcements to a camp. Kangaroo Jack searches for a water source. Fair enough. Coming from the outback, surely a kangaroo would know the value of water. Robot Jones questions his sanity. Might have to give him like a little whack. Sometimes machines are like that, you know? Poochie generally tends to your mom's wounds. Aww. The perfect picture to hang on the family wall. Family wall? Wall of the family house? The wall made up of family members. 6-gun gorilla kills Mai while she is resting. That is the end of both members of the Toho District, folks. I would take this as a, I would surmise that our very own underdog gorilla has managed to find his weapons of choice. In which case, again, death by projectile is... It's simultaneously just as expected to be the end of a Toho character, while also being rather pathetic. Sassy decapitates Heather Chandler with a sword! There's that feline brutality. We are really beholding it now, folks. A Witch and a Cat, a classic. Boogeyman full solo playthrough. Hell yeah, Crunk! Oh, damn! The family wall, we could only afford the one. Rip to who's First Blood! Way past First Blood. Way past First Blood. Yzma already killed, yeah. It's one bloody kitty. The sass has become tangible, folks. Carlos overhears Sarabella and Yzma talking in the distance. Brains and brawn working together. Very dangerous. Carlos is right to be cautious. Boogeyman receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Everybody is getting fucking bombs, and nobody is using them. Fucking... I'm the hostess here, and I can't fucking believe this. Team Rocket dies trying to escape the arena! Well, as laid out in the introduction prior, indeed attempts to escape results in lethal defenestration. As they say, Team Rocket is blasting off again. Ding! day 4 quickly passing on. We have 2 cannon shots and 2 Pichoons in the distance. Both Mistia and Mai of the Toho district have been axed. Heather Chandler from the Bad Bitch Bully district, excuse me, absolutely brutally murdered. Murdered even worse off than she was in her film debut. That's rough, girly pop. And Team Rocket, of course. Ah! I suppose this means that both lovable trios are now out of the running. On life. Looks like things are finally heating up. Yzma is used to manipulating types like Cerebella. They're planning on doing Jenga with the bombs later. Yeah, but I was expecting for Team Rocket to die. Now, did they die, or did they just blast off again and we assumed dead? It says in no uncertain terms here in the introduction script, lethal defenestration. If the throwing out of the arena was not lethal enough, well, wherever they land will surely claim them. Finish the job. They're blasting off into the afterlife. For good. Bad bitch, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Alright. On to the night of day 4. Cerebella is left alone and pondering home in the Super Grappler district. A little bit of homesickness. Be careful now. Keep your head in the game. You might want to focus. Distraction will surely spell distraction, if not doom. Kangaroo Jack is a cool Jack and decides to stay awake the entirety of the night. Ooh! Witch Hazel convinces Yzma for a little snuggle sesh. Elder Yuri, let's go. Fantastic. Evil Elder Yuri. At that. Delicioso. The sponsors are gonna eat that up. Sassy once again starts a fire. Is that... Ah, indeed. It seems she is keen to roast the deceased Heather Chandler's head. Pretty decent makeshift meal, I suppose. Waste not, want not, as they say. JJ, reaping the consequences of an injured wing, falls into a pit and expires. The uncanny valley has departed. Shantae sets up camp for the night. Fair enough. The flea is awoken by nightmares. Nightmares of nearly being bested by... who was it? I'm a hostess constantly having to focus on present events. I can scarcely remember the past all that easily. It comes with the ADHD, folks. Please be patient with your beloved hostess. Boogeyman looks into the night sky and recognizes he is but one of many nighttime stars. Kronk is awoken by nightmares. Perhaps the sense of paranoia is finally overcoming him. He's been gifted with so many niceties from so many unknown sponsors. Perhaps the pressure is finally building. Perhaps he feels a yearning to impress those that have decided to invest in him. Poochie cannot handle the circumstances of these survival death games and commits suicide. I do wonder if it's perhaps the reason why Poochie sought out a water source. Perhaps not to use it for utility, for survival purposes, or perhaps even for a trap. But, if nothing else, perhaps for their own exploration, a little bit of forethought done in this tiny little robo-dog's computer circuits. Alas, fare thee well, little robo-pet of the early 2000s. Robot Jones is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth, but doesn't seem particularly bothered by it. Last I checked, cooler temperatures seem to be optimal for complex machinery and circuitry. Carlos receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Somebody has finally realized his true comic chops, and has gifted him, perhaps, some lamb chops. Missy questions her sanity without people to step on to make herself rise up the social ladder. Six Gun Gorilla setting up camp for the night. He is really pulling through, folks. And of course, because everybody's getting one these days, it's the latest fad in survival games. Your mom has gotten an explosive of her own. Witch Yuri! Old Witch Yuri! Old Witch Yuri! JJ crashes. Just not his nightmares. Kronk can pull through. My bed is riding high. Not the dog! Takes out his own batteries. So many explosives and so little explosions. Maybe they're all duds. Or maybe they're all just scared of using them. Too bad no one got a detonator. Yeah, they're all fucking remote controlled. Right. Oh my goodness, folks! Day 5 is coming in hot! Witch Hazel forces your mom to kill either Yzma or Six Gun Gorilla. And perhaps, in her own heart, she sees the worth that Six Gun Gorilla has for our audience and decides to kill Yzma. Toxic old Witch Yuri. We have peaked, folks. I believe this is truly the highlight of this season. Six Gun Gorilla persists! Thanks to the mercy of your mom. Kangaroo Jack questioning his sanity. From the looks of it, he seems to be mumbling something specifically to himself, standing in place. Almost doing like a little jazz hands maneuver. Can we like bump up the mic volume a little bit? I want to take a listen in on this. Zoom and enhance. Okay. Okay. Uh-huh. Our interpreters have determined that the very words he is mumbling constantly to himself is chicken blood, chicken blood, chicken blood, chicken blood. I know not the significance, folks. Your guess is as good as mine. Shantae kills Missy while she is asleep. Absolute cold blood. Shantae is dancing and decimating the danger. And this does mean that both members of the Bad Bitch Bully District are now out. They are now 6 feet under. Sassy goes hunting. Beware all backyard and forest wildlife. The cat is on the prowl. Carlos begs for Crunk to kill him. But the absolute sweetheart himbo he is, he refuses and allows Carlos to persist. Truly, an aspirational father figure to this young blue boy. Robot Jones and the Flea team up to pursue and kill other tributes. Thankfully for Robot Jones, he does not seem to be programmed with olfactory sensors. Perhaps he could sense the temperature, but no guarantees that that necessarily correlates with odor. Body odor. A decent team up, if you ask me. The boogeyman travels to higher ground, perhaps seeking to make a throne for himself within the terrain. But Sarabella is equally on the pursuit for higher terrain. Four shots of the cannon ring out in the midday sun. One for JJ of the Blue Boy District, Poochie of the Robotics Division District. Yzma? Wait. Oh yeah, Yzma. Killed by your mom. Yeah, I was confused for a second. Yzma of the Disney Duos. Decimated. Destroyed. Devastating. And Missy Meanie, who I suppose we will never truly know what she looks like up close. Hang on, I'm trying to catch up the chat. Sponsor pushes the detonator, all of them go off at once. Nobody knows how explosive works. Damn, that's cold. Your mom just killed the Emperor's assistant, wow. Sick Gun Gorilla pulling through again. Witch Hazel might start a new relationship with our mom. Chicken jockey! Half genie murderer! Kronk perfectly in character all throughout. Yzma died by toxic Yuri. Absolute tragedy. Well, with 4.5 days passing, why don't we briefly check in on the status of all districts and tributes. Both members of the Toho district are deceased. Yzma, from the Disney Duo district, has deceased with 1 kill under her belt. JJ from the Blue Boys district, deceased by falling into a pit. Aha, it is your hostess's time for drums. The Hex Girls, dead from infection. Cocaine Bear died from dehydration. Six Gun Gorilla and Shantae are still kicking with 1 kill each. Poochie, Robotics Division, decommissioned. Both members of the Lovable Trio District are gone. The supposed Talkers District is still doing good, still faring well, with Sassy even having a single kill. Both members of the Bad Bitch Bully District absolutely obliterated. Super Grapplers still in the ring, and Minecraft Bee, as all bees are doomed to happen, at least depending on their targets, bled to death. And I bet you are all just so proud of your mom having a single kill so far. Okay. Alright. Okay, I shall do my drums. It was a good time for a break anyway. Whoa, what the hell is that emote? Oh, those are tentacles. Okay. I understand. And I didn't miss the redeem for the trifecta. Stellar, thank you very much. My water of choice is tinged with strawberry mango juice. Games seem to be going swimmingly so far, indeed. I'll have to count the total number of dead tributes. Make sure how many are currently left over. Rem! Hello, Rem! Hello, Raiders! Welcome, we are beholding some Hunger Games. Hello, CZD! Hello, Thunder Yellow! Hello, hello! Hang on just a second, I gotta take my drums. Okay. Rem, what did you get up to tonight? Ah! I see the flea and I imagine chaos. The flea is doing surprisingly well so far. Show him our current situation? That is a good idea. We have 12 districts, 2 tributes each. They are all themed. So District 1 is the Toho District. Mistia and Mai, they are both dead. District 2, Disney Duo, with Yzma and Kronk. Yzma's dead, but managed a little bit of bloodshed of her own. Third District is the Blue Boy District. A couple of blue boys from children's media, beloved or not. Carlos Ramon of Magic School Bus fame, still kicking. Witch District, we had the Hex Girls and Witch Hazel. The latter is the only one still in the running. District 5, we had, Dangerous Armed Animals. We still have the 6-gun gorilla, who is proving to be, like, kind of a fan favorite so far. Cocaine Bear, dead from thirst. We have Dazzling Dancers with Shantae and the Boogeyman from Powerpuff Girls. We got Robots and Robot Jones and Poochie. Only millennials remember. We had a couple of trios. Team Rocket and Animaniacs, they're both dead. We have a couple of supposedly talking animals. Kangaroo Jack and Sassy from Homeward Bound. We had a couple of girl bullies and Heather Chandler and Missy Meany from Ned's Declassified. They're both dead. Heather got it really brutal. From none other than Sassy. The Flea and Sarabella. A couple of grapplers. Minecraft Bee, dead. And your mom from the Wildcard District. I am a millennial, I do remember. I am also a millennial, but just barely. More Lobotomy Corp? I see. Love the variety? Yeah. Yzma did kill a Toho. Wow, I read that wrong as more Lobotomy Corporation. I was like, is that Twitch legal? But they died due to toxic old woman Yuri. Yeah. Witch Hazel forced your mom to kill Yzma. Or 6-gun gorilla and decided to kill Yzma. Carlos! I had all the chi robots? Nice! Sassy, absolutely the most bloodthirsty in this game. Not particularly shocking for a cat. 90% of deaths were their own faults.
Yeah.
Most of the dead here have died due to environmental circumstances. Indeed. We're on to day 5. We were just taking a break. We were beholding some fallen tributes, and we are moving on to nighttime of day 5. However, if you need to do some after-stream care, feel free. Thank you again for the raid. Just real quick, for anyone not familiar with me, I am Issy. I am a Froggy witch. I do variety streams. Normally, I would be streaming my Pokemon Infinite Fusion Nuzlocke tonight, but last week was a bit rough, so I decided to take a break. So I swapped out one Bloodsport for another. Should probably head to bed now. Yeah, have a great stream. Okay, night Ram. Hope you fare well in your own dreamy dreams. Anyway, starting off. Your mom receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Clearly she has, warmed up somebody's heart with all of her mercy. Her mercifulness. Carlos climbs up to a tree and rests for the night. Robot Jones accidentally detonates a landmine while trying to arm it! Finally! Out of so many of our contestants being given random explosives, the first one finally goes off, and it is a self-kill. Classic Robot Jones. Kronk receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. I do believe he is well-versed within kind of like a Boy Scouts-esque training and camping skills. So this would likely behoove a himbo like him. Sarabella, Six-Gun Gorilla, and the Flea band together and sleep in shifts around the campfire. Ooh, Boogeyman, Sassy, Kangaroo Jack, and Witch Hazel tell each other ghost stories. Boogeyman and Witch Hazel, and likely Sassy too, all have some marvelously terrifying stories to tell. Sassy's would come from experience, I'm sure. Shantae unfortunately bleeds out due to untreated injuries. Perhaps she danced just a bit too hard through the danger. It is nighttime, she could barely see where she's going. I am sad to report, Shantae, that is game over for you. Moving on to day 6. We're almost at a week for these games, folks. The Boogeyman distracts your mom to make a getaway. Carlos receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. No longer are we getting a whole mess of explosives, we're getting a bit more practical now. A bit more manual, a bit more personal. Kangaroo Jack reunites with his district partner begging for Sassy to kill him. But Sassy, with the shred of mercy that she bears within her fuzziness, her fuzzy snark, decides to keep her partner alive. They have to win it for their district. That is dedication, folks. Six-Gun Gorilla carefully stalks the chunky biceps of Sarabella. The Flea and Witch Hazel split up to search for resources. Don't let Witch Hazel's nose fool you, folks. She's used to these kinds of smells. Kronk, once again, receiving medical assistance from an unknown sponsor. The random explosives have finally done their job. Mom received supplies from one of her many children. Go, Kronk! Shantae, no! Not our half-genie hero! Carlos? Dear God. Sassy decides that killing a partner is one step too far. For all the dry commentary, this cat indeed does have standards. Which is all the more reason to fear her. Because, as they say, professionals have standards. Day 6, we hear 2 cannons in the distance. One for Robot Jones, putting an end to District 7 and our robot contestants. And Shantae, one half of our dreamy dancers. Absolutely dreadful. But hey, we described the boogeyman as dreadful beforehand. There's still hope yet, even if it's for evil. The moon rises again. Sassy starts a fire. Kronk strangles Carlos after engaging in a fist fight. Color me blown away, y'all. They had something of, at least for a single day, for just a moment, they had something of a connection, perhaps a father-son relationship. And it has been crumpled into dust. Glorious. Delicious violence. That's what these games are all about. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. And with the death of Carlos, we can report reliably that the Blue Boys are out of the running. Forever and afterwards. The Flea turns his wrestling skills on Witch Hazel in a fight, but ultimately is too honorable to finish the job. Be careful, Flea. Word is, Witch Hazel is not exactly as scrupulous as you are. This may come back to bite you. Sarabella begs for your mom to kill her, but she refuses. Mother ever merciful. Boogeyman, in his prime territory, remains awake all night and parties like crazy around his own camp. Six-Gun Gorilla convinces Kangaroo Jack to snuggle up with him. How fuzzy was he? Kronk has basically faced no challenges up to this point, and I'm scared of what could happen. Wow! Let's go, Kronk! I hated Carlos! Kronk, no, that's a child! Flea merciful? Doubtful. Funny how the Flea and Witch Hazel were partnering just a moment ago. Yeah. That's how these games go. They can turn on a dime. Day 7, we are now up to a week, y'all. Which means the cornucopia has been replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from Tribute's families. Aw, how fresh. The boogeyman decides to stick to his ground and not go to the feast. Kangaroo Jack and Witch Hazel get into a fight over some tasty, succulent meat on a bone, but ultimately Witch Hazel is overpowered and retreats back into the wilderness. Six Gun Gorilla is content and decides not to visit the cornucopia. Your mom is also playing it safe. Sassy is already pretty well equipped. Like, she even has natural weapons. Like, what does she need to go to the feast for? Kronk and Sarabella track down and pincer the flea to death. Absolute brutality. That is one partner turning on the other. Standards that not even Sassy was willing to fall into. Kronk is taking quite a turn to the dark side lately. I wonder if he's realized his heel turn. Day 7 now starts and kicks off proper. Seems like partnering up with Hazel is a surefire bet for getting in trouble. Ask Yzma. Good luck fighting a kangaroo for meat. The flea is no more, and Kronk is a killing machine! Flea, no! Alas! It seems as though Witch Hazel's actions have finally caught up to her, being subjected to some righteous karma as she injures herself, all alone. Let's take this one step at a time. Boogeyman, Sarabella, and Six Gun Gorilla, one trio, unsuccessfully ambush Sassy, Kronk, and your mom, who in turn kill them instead. I'm sorry to say, folks, the fan favorite Six Gun Gorilla is no more. The boogeyman has boogied his last, and Sarabella is down for the count. But then again, it's Sassy and Kronk, so it's like, what were you expecting? You weren't gonna survive that, I'm just being real. Meanwhile, Kangaroo Jack buckles under the pressure and self-destructs. Absolute bloodshed. Oh my god, what a spectacle! Sassy, Kronk, and our mom revealed to be the most fearsome out of all. But of course, as Hunger Games rules proclaims, only one can proceed to the role of champion. One can persist. Only one can survive. We have a whopping 6 cannon shots fired in the distance. Carlos of the Blue Boy District, the Flea of the Super Grappler District, the Boogeyman putting an end to the Dreamy Dancers District, Sarabella putting an end to the Super Grapplers District, Six Gun Gorilla putting an end to the Angry Aided Animals District, and Kangaroo Jack, the first half of the supposed Talker District. Who is left? Let's check it up. We have Kronk. We have Witch Hazel. We have Sassy with a whopping 4 kills. I mean, are we really surprised that the cat is the most effective killer? But she is tied with your mom So, tensions are high yet. We have... Oh, Kronk! Kronk has 5 kills! You better catch up. Witch Hazel, surprisingly, has no murders in her little bag of tricks. But we are coming up on... perhaps the end of these Hunger Games, folks. I mentioned before, I had no idea how long this was gonna run. Betting it all on Kronk! Could the murder hobo cat be the one? The one and only murderous himbo Kronk? Or our mom? I thought that was common for cats. Indeed it is. As I said, is anyone really surprised? Witch Hazel with no kills but some assists. We're nearing 2 hours. Yeah. We're getting close to, at the very least, my streaming minimum. Whoever wins is gonna be something. Yeah, this is absolutely marvelous, folks. This is juicy stuff. And the night of the 7th day rolls in. Witch Hazel is awoken by nightmares, but isn't perhaps perturbed so much by them. She is a witch, after all. It's only... It comes with the territory, comes with the occupation. Your mom tries to treat an infection. We can only presume she succeeds with provided medical supplies. Kronk quietly hums his own theme music as he is wont to do when he is on the job. Kronk is on a quest. Oh my god. Sassy perhaps dies in the most feline way ever, unknowingly eating some toxic berries. All this time, you made it so far. You made it so far, but in the most domestic cat-ass move ever. Indeed, she is sassy, but perhaps not a smarty pants. On to day 8. We can't dwell on deaths for long. We only have 3 contestants left. We are getting into the territory of our top 3. Could be a surprising final result. Sassy staying true to her nature till the very end. Yeah. Your mom received some fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Likely something from the keto diet, if I had to guess. Witch Hazel goes a-hunting. For food, for sponsors, for resources, for weaponry. Who can really tell? Kronk receives yet another explosive from an unknown sponsor. We couldn't go too long without another explosive, y'all. We're really stockpiling these things. How are they carrying them all? A single cannon is shot in the distance for Sassy the cat. And I do believe this spells the end for the supposed Talkers district. Nevertheless, very impressive to last this long. And that night, the murderous murder hobo of Kronk, who recently had his inglorious face heel turn, dies of dysentery. Well, perhaps to add insult to injury, maybe it makes sense that the bronze medal is brown. And your mom accidentally steps on a landmine, triggering it and being blown to smithereens, which means, after handing out her post-mortem, silver medal, the glorious, nefarious Witch Hazel from the Witch District is our champion of this season. Give a round of applause for her, y'all. Good show, grand entertainment. Could be anybody's game. Croc, not you too! Both my bets are gone. Mom, don't let Hazel win it. No! Wow, this is a massive safety PSA. I call favoritism. Of course the witch wins. This was rigged. I am merely the hostess. I never predicted the conclusion. Rigged by witches. I guess she was hunting for victory all this time. She was concocting a victory potion! The absolute fiendishness. She used her own witchy powers to win. And somehow has 0 kills. The craziest, the witchiest, outwitted everyone. I'm so proud. Truly an icon for witches everywhere. I wouldn't mind being rigged by witches. Well, then. Well, with that, I think it's finally time we settle down and bring forth the after-game ceremony. How about it? Dum-de-dum. Hang on, clicking through a bunch of windows. So our proper placements with 0 kills, but infinite brains, Witch Hazel with the gold medal, and the only surviving champion, your mom with impressive 4 kills and 2nd place, earning a silver medal, Croc with the most kills out of anyone in the games, and dies from shitting himself. And Sassy pulling through for an impressive period. 4 kills. No doubt some of the most brutal, although it's hard to really match the cold-bloodedness of Crunk strangling Carlos. 6-Gun Gorilla may have found his guns and may have earned 1 kill, but alas, he only earns 6th place. Sarabella with 1 kill, Shantae with 1 kill, a rather cold-blooded kill of her own as well. Yzma with 1 kill, impressively killing one of the Toho girls with a projectile. So we gotta give her props for that. That is... Yzma gets an honorable mention. The Animaniac's getting last place for dying first. Because, you know, commitment to the bit. The Toho girls died consecutively and really early. Shockingly. Shocking. Shocking. But yeah, we had a lot of love and anticipation. We were really rooting for the 6-Gun Gorilla. My himbo, my genie hero, and my mom are all dead. Damn witches. Well, all this means is that, you know, mayhaps next season, whenever that happens, we will have to consult Witch Hazel for defending of her championship title. You know how it goes. But likewise, what more is there to see? We can see just kind of an overall summary of this season. It was 8 days long, right? So surprisingly, with the bloodbath, no deaths were had. First day, no deaths occurred. The first night, Animaniacs dies from hunger anticlimactically. To be funny. It was the funniest thing to happen. Day 2, Minecraft B bleeds out due to a removed stinger and prompt disemboweling. At least, this is what we presume. The particular injuries are yet to be confirmed. There will be revenge! There will be a rematch in some year. 3 more years! 3 more years! It was an interesting game overall, yeah. It's pretty great. Best 2 out of 3. No. Honestly, I think if we restarted from here, like, I think there's a particular setting or like a particular option I have to click to make sure it doesn't play out like exactly the same, because like that's happened before. Night 2, no deaths. Day 3, Cocaine Bear shriveled up, died of desiccation. Hex Girls got bacterial infections and perished. Third night, Yzma threw a knife into Mischa. Mischa? No. No, indeed, Yzma did not Mischa. That was the whole thing. Day 4, Six Gun Gorilla killed Mai while she was asleep. Sassy decapitated Heather with a sword. Is that what she just calls her front claws? Because, I mean, if so, she's allowed to do that. Team Rocket dies trying to escape the arena, perished from lethal defenestration. Following night, JJ fell into a pit and died, unable to fly out, unable to save himself due to a broken wing. Poochie couldn't handle the pressure, committed suicide. Day 5, Witch Hazel, after having some old Witch Yuri highlights, decided to turn on Yzma, although using your mom to kill her by proxy. Although granted, it was a choice. A choice between Yzma or Six Gun Gorilla. Your mom chose Yzma. Perhaps she saw a little bit of her future self and didn't like what she saw. Meanwhile, everybody loved the Six Gun Gorilla for his run. We salute you, Six Gun Gorilla. And then Shantae killed Missy while she was sleeping. That night, Robot Jones accidentally detonates a landmine trying to arm it. Pretty funny, not gonna lie. Shantae bled out. No deaths on day 6, but that following night, Kronk strangles Carlos after getting in a fist fight and ultimately souring the brief, possibly like father-son or maybe even brotherly relationship they had. And the feast! Kronk and Sarabella track down and kill the Flea, Sarabella being the Flea's very own district partner. Day 7, the trio of Boogeyman, Sarabella, and Six Gun Gorilla met their ends at the hands of Sassy Kronk and your mom after an unsuccessful ambush. Kangaroo Jack took his own life after not taking to the circumstances of the Hunger Games very effectively. That following night, Sassy, with a stroke of dumbass cat Yumi's, unknowingly eats some poison berries. No deaths on the following day, but that night, Kronk gets dysentery and dies. Your mom explodes. Witch Hazel wins through sheer witchy cunning. Okay. Stepped out for a minute, who won? Isn't it randomized by default? Yes and no. There is a way, like, I think distinctly, like, instead of, like, going proceed or, like, yeah, if I proceed, we get some stats. I think if we go back to the reaping, then the conclusion is, randomized. Otherwise, yes, simulate again. Either I pick simulate again, or, like, I go back to the beginning via, like, going back pages, like, browser pages all the way to the beginning. Which favoritism? Yeah, going back to the beginning. Don't you see, we gotta go back? Back where? Back to the future! Although, just to confirm... Yeah, here we are. Everybody's alive again! Phoenix down. Proceed. Runs away, runs away. Finds a canteen full of water. Okay, that's new. Finds a bag full of explosives! Runs away, runs away, runs away, runs away. Bag full of explosives. On brand for Animaniacs. Runs away, runs away. Kronk, Team Rocket, Mom work together, get supplies. Runs away, runs away. A bottle of alcohol and a rag. Runs away, runs away. Mai sets an explosive off, killing the Flea, Robot Jones, Missy, and Boogeyman. Okay, so this was the different option. This was, you know, new outcomes with the same characters. Got it. Speedrunning it? No, I just wanted to see if it was any different. But yeah. That was a follow-up to my Hunger Games streams from so fucking long ago. I'll have to figure out a new roster. I will take recommendations. If we bring back the Witch District, I'm gonna have to find a new witch partner for Hazel. Mai getting triple kills. Instantly. She used a bomb. We could see different Two-Who's? Good point. Although technically, like, there is a bit of continuity to this one. Like, specifically Mystia and Mai were picked out because, you know, the Gensokyo games that I ran roughly 3 years ago was only Toho characters. And, you know, it was split between 2 streams. And Mystia won the first one, Mai won the second one. So this time around, I would probably just have to pick random Tohos. Maybe keeping the same themes, but with different characters? Maybe. It certainly wouldn't change anything for the last district, the wild card district. It would still be incredibly random, pull of the hat. Pick them on my own whims. Also, it might be tricky for, like, the Blue Boys district, like... At some point, you're gonna run out. You're gonna run out of Blue Boys that everybody can recognize. In children's media. Disney Duos is probably something we could revamp. Angry Aided Animals? This is another, like, really tricky one. Dreamy Dancers... I'm not sure if there's anybody with similar caliber to Shantae and Boogeyman. Boogeyman was a bit of a pull, but... like, everybody knows Shantae. Everybody loves Shantae. Robots! There's definitely more robots. Supposed talkers. I'm sure there's, like, more, like, talking animals movies I could consult. Bad Bitch Bullies. No shortage of those. Super Grapplers. That might be another tricky one. And then again, Wild Card. It's literally anything. Next time on the Wild Card District, your dad! Some of the theme districts could definitely be changed. Yeah, absolutely. But anywho... yeah, this was a relatively shorter stream, but I had fun with it. I'm glad I went to the trouble of of writing a whole ass intro. Sleepy time. I love you, wifey. Night-night, Jay. I will be joining you for cuddles very soon. We can keep some of the same, change others, kind of streamlining the whole thing. Yeah. Yes. Yes! 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 And that is Hunger Games Simulator. This was fun. I'm glad. I only held onto this roster for roughly 3 years. I'm glad it was worth it. I can finally delete this bookmark! Goody. Well... let's see. For the rest of the week, I'm planning to take Wednesday off from the library. So there's maybe possibly a stream Wednesday? Either way, I don't think I want to do a Thursday stream this week. And then Friday? We'll see. We deal consistently with our own wild cards on this channel. There's other stuff that you have yet to sequel and still haven't gotten around to? That's a good question. Because honestly, there's a bunch of games I streamed that, you know, initially I might have intended to do like a little, at the very least, play to completion. Or like story mode completion or something. Unless it was a case like Custom Robo, where I would pursue the post-game. But like most of those games, I ended up just completely dropping cold turkey. Even if there's like a select few of them that I have made clear I am open to revisiting in the future. I suppose I'm revisiting the the promo graphics that I have made. Let me see here. I could do another Caves of Cud stream. It's been a while since I tried playing Caves of Cud. Still gotta read some of the next chapters of Soulstone War, our interactive fiction. Control! That's a game that I keep consistently, like, playing. I keep consistently do streams for between large gaps of time. Are you finishing? Sadly, yes. We have reached the end. Control does seem cool. I was tempted to include Control in the list of games that I just dropped streaming and would revisit in the future, because, like, the span of time between each session, each stream I play that game is always so long. I always forget, like, at what point the story is at. Like, cause I don't really play it in my spare time. I don't know. But, like, that's a contender. I have yet to actually play more, like, any of the other chapters past chapter 2 of Deltarune. I'm, for all intents and purposes, blind to everything that happens after chapter 2. Wi-Fi betrays me yet again. No! No! Let's see, what else have I been meaning to stream? There's definitely a few games, a handful of games, where I've had promo images from the Gwyn era. It's like, I don't necessarily want to spoil them, but, like, at the same time, I don't really know when I'm gonna decide to play them. So, fuck it. Along with Soulstone War, there's another piece of interactive fiction called Tokyo Wizard that I was... like, that's a potential streaming option. Read on stream. Impossible Creatures, which is a PC RTS game that I played as a child. Potionomics. Make potions. Pseudo Regalia. Sable. And that's it. You haven't been spoiled at all? I mean, I've seen, like, characters in passing, like, on social media and stuff, but I don't know their relevance to anything. I don't know what they're like. Like, I don't know nothing. Maybe you could do a special month of just playing through all the stuff you've been putting off. Maybe. Maybe. I don't think there's any month that starts with K. Backlog months? Maybe. Like, I was trying to think if there was a month that starts with K. Because in that case I could do, like, ketchup K something, that kind of deal. Kind of like how you took off May for YouTube. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily need to have a name for it, I suppose. Backlog of December. I will think about it. I will put this under deep consideration. Backlog December. Berry business. Okay. Well. It's kind of crazy to me that I don't need to hold on to this particular roster anymore. I can get rid of this bookmark. It's finally over. I don't have to intermittently open it every time I surf the web. Intermittently throughout each month or so. Sequel September? Ooh. Mayhaps. Follow-up February! I mean, it may come into conflict with Febestiary, but, like, strictly speaking, Febestiary doesn't necessarily have to be tied down by February. It can be time agnostic. For picking back up things that you didn't go back to before. Sure. Much to consider, much to think about. But yeah. There's a possibility of a Wednesday stream, and then there's the Friday stream. Follow-up Feb is straight fire. Haha, nailed it. Nailed it, November. Yeah, I don't know if I'll stream Wednesday, but whether there's 2 more streams this week or just 1, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I'm leaning towards more custom robo. I wanna do more robo romp and battle royales. Remember that game, November. Cuss that robo. Cuss that robo. Instead of a show jingle, it's just a censor bleep. Anywho, that is the plan for the short term. But even shorter term, right presently, the plan is raiding time. Cuss that robo when you start losing, especially. These tournaments are bullshit. Okay. Let's go Twitch. Let's see who is live. Monday night. It's not particularly late, so there's probably gonna be more people still live than as it usually goes. Oh yeah, there's a lot of people. Wow. I see Lee George having a birthday stream. Misa Deluxe is live, but we rated her last time. How's a Beowta? So many options. I'm getting choice paralysis. Oh, there's Aru. Playing some Halo. There's Lolotov Cocktail. Also, apparently with birthday relevance, birthday week. Looks like they're doing some live reading of something, and I'm not familiar. Shit. Choices! Night is in night cookware. Being early certainly gets you more options. Solaris is also live. That'll have to be a thing I explain in the Soiver. Yeah, let's raid Aru. Doing some Master Chef. Master Chef collection. Auto tune ready. Auto tune ready, Aru. Let's go. I will see you all next time, Lily pals. That Ugg was crazy. Maybe. Yeah. I will elucidate in due time. But yeah, we are rating Aru. I'll see you all either Wednesday or Friday with whatever I get up to. You all have a great time zone. Take care of yourselves. Like always, I am peckish. I want food. I could really use some food. You big froggy hugs from my lily pals. I'll send you on your way. Oh, yeah, swimming.